Sairam. While driving to the office, one day happened to just click on a link which popped up this verse from the Patanjali Yoga Sutra, chapter 1, verse 26. It was so beautifully aligned with the Guru Tattvam session. Thought would share a satsang thought on this particular verse. The verse goes like this: Sa pūrveṣāṃ guruḥ kālenānavacchedāt. Not being limited by time, he is even the master of the ancients. He means God. This verse conveys the supreme position of God. The verse contains mentions about Guru. Who is Guru? I think we saw the definition of Guru or the exposition of Guru given by Swami in the previous satsang talk, where he told Gu is ignorance, Ru is destroy. One who destroys the ignorance within us and brings out the light of knowledge within us is Guru. Since eternity, we are separated from God. We have been living in ignorance, believing that our body, mind, intellect is real, running after all objects for getting the happiness at the BMI level. At the same time, fearful that this body will die one day because our desires are unlimited and the time is less. So that fear is there that, oh, the body will die. That means all my desires cannot be fulfilled. Interestingly, we learnt in the Atma Bodha that action cannot remove ignorance because actions are taken up in the backdrop of avidya and asmita, the ignorance of my real identity and the feeling of I-ness and mineness. So, that action which is taken up due to avidya, how it can remove avidya? But Vedavyasa goes one step beyond this, and that he says, ignorance lies not only in our actions. He says, ignorance lies in our intellect itself. That means till the time we reach the penultimate stage in self-realization, even our intellect to some extent is contaminated, mixed with ignorance. So, even if actions are taken up with intellect, The same Atmabodha verse applies here. There we said actions born out of avidya cannot remove avidya. Here we say actions born out of intellect cannot remove ignorance. Because ignorance lies in the intellect itself. Another option is there. Perhaps we can read scriptures and gain knowledge and remove ignorance. What scriptures have to tell about this reading and gaining knowledge? Bhagavad Gita chapter 4 verse 34 says, Tat viddhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshayanti te jnanam jnanina tattvadarshana. Tattvadarshina. Know that by long prostration and by service to the Guru, to the wise one, the wise one will then instruct you on that knowledge. The self-realized soul can impart knowledge unto you because he has seen the truth. But how he will, when he will teach the truth, when you have surrendered to him. That surrender is symbolically mentioned here by long prostration and by service. Srimad Bhagavatam says, Tasmat Gurum Prapadyeta Jignasu Shreya Uttamam Shabde Pare Cha Nishnatam Brahmani Upashamashrayam. Translates like this. Thus, therefore, any person who seriously desires real happiness must seek a realized spiritual master and take shelter in him, shelter of him by initiation. The qualification of a true guru is that he has realized the conclusions of the scriptures and is able to practically convince others of these conclusions. Such great personalities who have taken shelter of the Supreme Godhead, leaving aside all material considerations, should be considered as real spiritual masters, and one must take shelter in them and be initiated by them. See, in all other field, while teaching, while imparting the education of any other field, physics, chemistry, mathematics, astronomy, anything, the teacher has material motivation. It could be, the motivation could be money, it could be fame, it could be power, it could be recognition, etc. Whereas one who has realized that the truth and gives spiritual knowledge has no material motivation. He teaches only and only out of compassion and divine intuition. Such a guru is selfless, so he is trustworthy. Paramahamsa Yogananda says, when you are moving blindly through the valley of life, stumbling in darkness, you need the help of someone who has eyes, aankhein. To follow one who is enlightened is the best way out of the great muddle that has been created in the world. Only he who knows God can show others how to know God, can show in others how to know God. To regain one's divinity, one must have such a master or guru. A visitor asks Ramana, while all say that Guru's direction is necessary, it seems Bhagavan has said a guru is not necessary. Bhagavan, Ramana says, I have not said so, but a guru need not always be in human form. First, a person thinks he is an inferior and that there is a superior, all-knowing, all-powerful God who controls his own and the world's destiny and worships him or does bhakti. When he reaches a certain stage and becomes fit for enlightenment, the same God whom he has been worshipping comes as a guru and leads him on. Note Ramana's word. In the last Guru Tattvam Part 2 session, what we learned that the guru has been decided by God. So, disrespecting a guru is disrespecting God. Not taking guru's teachings sincerely and seriously is like not taking God seriously and sincerely. Then that guru teaches to the aspirant, the God is within yourself. Dive within and realize. In fact, God, Guru, and self are all the same, says Sri Ramana. Oka chinna katha by Swami. Shankara, the great Acharya, had 4 chief disciples: Trotaka, Astamalaka, Sureshwara, and Padmapada. Of these, Padmapada was intent only on service to the Guru. He could not pay attention to the lessons. The others used to sneer at him for his backwardness in studies. But his deep reverence for his Guru made up for that. One day, he washed the cloths of his Guru and dried them on rock in the middle of the river. But even as he was folding them, the river rose fast in a swirling flood, and he had scarce a foothold on the top of the rock. It was getting late. The Guru would need the washed cloths soon. So Padmapada resolved to walk across the flood over the raging waters. He knew that the blessing of his Guru would rescue him. It did. Wherever his foot was planted, a sturdy lotus bloomed and bore him on its petals. That is why he came to be called lotus-footed Padmapada. The grace of the Guru enabled him to master all knowledge and shine as a brilliant exponent of the ancient wisdom. Coming back to the sutra, a Guru has gone from his Guru, and his Guru's Guru got from his Guru's guru. And it goes on like this. Ultimately, the first ever guru, how he got the sacred knowledge, the wisdom, he got it from God, says Maharishi Patanjali. God is the guru of the earliest guru. And that God is beyond time. Here, he, the one who is talking to you, must say in gratitude, deepest gratitude, that the God himself came as his guru to give him the Brahma Vidya. In reality, it is the light of God that is the true guide. This inner light is not a person, but it dispels the darkness of ignorance, enabling us to see through the wall of false identification, asmita, attachment, raga, aversion, dvesha, and the fear of change or the fear of death, abhinivesha. Attaining union with this inner guide is the goal of yoga. Once we decide to employ all our resources, physical, mental, and material, to attain this union, the inner guide arranges for a guide in the external world to come forward and pave our way for the inward journey. And that guide is the Guru in our life. While writing commentary on this particular verse, Maharishi Vyasa says it is understandable that earliest sages are limited by time. He, not being limited by time, is the master of the earliest sages. He is superior in the cycle of creation. It should be understood as such for the previous creations also. Swami Vivekananda, he has written beautiful commentary on Patanjali Yoga Sutra. He writes, "It is true that all knowledge is within ourselves, but this has to be called forth by another knowledge. Although the capacity to know is inside us, it must be brought out, and that calling out knowledge can only be got through another knowledge. Knowing beings must be with us. The another knowledge is of the Guru who already knows." And Swamiji writes, knowing beings must be with us to call forth what is in us. So these teachers are always necessary. The world was never without them, and no knowledge can come without them. The very fact that man has a little knowledge shows that God has unlimited knowledge. The second fact is that no knowledge can come without a teacher. It is true, as the modern philosophers say, that there is something in man which evolves out of him. All knowledge is in man, but certain environments are necessary to call it out. We cannot find any knowledge without a teacher. If there are many teachers, God teachers, men teachers, not that is God men, like that. He says if there are human beings as teachers, God teachers or angel teachers, they are all limited. Who was the teacher before them? We are forced to admit as a last conclusion, one teacher who is not limited by time, and the one teacher or infinite knowledge without beginning or end is called God. Having said that, Swamiji also maintained that for bringing out our capacity to understand that God is the divine teacher. For that also we need a guru to lead us towards the God. A guru leads us selflessly towards the God, and the God selflessly guides and reaches us towards the self within. In this way, both Guru and God are the most selfless. You understand? We should also admit that a realized sage existing in Kaivalya verily exists as God when it comes to existing beyond time. Commentary on this verse by Osho. He translates the verse in this way: being beyond the limits of time, he is the master of masters. And he focuses very much on one line, being beyond time. His commentary. Now, what is time and how one goes beyond time? Try to understand. Time is desire, because for desire, time is needed. Time is a creation of desire. If you have no time, how can you desire? There is no space for desire to move if there is no concept of time. Desire needs future because we are desiring for something to be attained in future. Maybe future, maybe the next minute or the next hour or the next year. But we need time to fulfill our desire, and for fulfilling the desire, we need the future. The future comes in the concept of time. You cannot be desirous in the present. There exists no desire in the present. In every moment to moment, there cannot be any desire to be fulfilled in that moment itself. You can desire to be fulfilled in the future. So what he means, in other words, subtle meaning of this line by Sri Osho is that if you are always in the present, without thinking of future, that means without having any desire to be fulfilled in the future, then for you, there can be no time concept, as there are no desire. So you don't need future to fulfill your desire. As soon as you desire, the future has entered. The tomorrow has come in, or the next moment has come. How can you desire in this moment here now? Desire is impossible without time. Time is also impossible without desire. They are a phenomenon together, two aspects of the same coin. When one becomes desireless, one becomes timeless. Future stops, past stops, only the present is there. That is the state of a Buddha, says Vignesh. Consciousness has no time. Time is created when consciousness desires something. Immediately, time is created. In pure existence consciousness, there is no desire. Hence, there is no time. One who has attained desirelessness will soon or later become beyond needs, only because then the body is not needed. Body is a vehicle of the mind. If the mind is not there, body cannot be needed anymore. Thus, unquote. Thus, connecting this commentary of Sri Osho with the essence of this verse, Any realized guru and the guru of all gurus, God or pure consciousness, both are beyond time. The guru and the guru of all gurus, they are beyond time, kālenānavacchedāt. Both have no desire and hence both do not have past or future. Time concept can arise only when there is a future beyond the present. The unimaginable God is beyond creation. He is beyond the first created item, space, and also beyond time, which is associated with space. The first energetic incarnation is called Ishvara. He is eternal and changeless. Before the creation of the first item of creation, that is space, only the unimaginable God existed. No concept of time existed in the unimaginable God. The word before, which indicates time, is associated only with creation. It cannot be linked with the state of the unimaginable God, existing alone up to that point of the beginning of the creation. The concept of time appeared only after creation. Now, few weeks before, there was a talk given on lightning as Brahman from the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. It is uploaded in the YouTube. How this verse gets connected with Yoga Sutra verse, which says God is the Guru of the most ancient master, and also how Brahman as lightning gets connected with the importance of a physical Guru. God, the Guru of the first ever Guru, when he is satisfied with the seeker's mumukshatva and seekers gaining the sadhana chatushtaya sampatti, sends a physical guru, a guru in human form. And this guru is perhaps the lightning sent by God, not different from God. Like the lightning removes darkness, the guru removes the darkness of ignorance, which is the avidya of the disciple. Once the avidya is removed forever, then as much as there is no relevance of the darkness avidya, there is no need for a physical guru for the disciple, as he has realized the ultimate divinity already. So, at this state, does it mean that the disciple should forget Guru and move ahead? Since the purpose of lightening Guru has been fulfilled, there is no need for Guru. Also, it is said very clearly. So, the Guru should be forgotten after realization. Swami Vivekananda writes on his master, very much after Vivekananda attained realization, I am Ramakrishna's servant, and I am willing even to steal and rob, if by stealing and robbing I can perpetuate his name in the land of his birth, and help even a little of his disciples to practice his great ideals. I am prepared to even rob or steal, commit a crime, if it helps me in propagating my master's teachings to the world. This is how a realized master thinks or keeps his guru. This is where his guru is kept in his heart. In the presence of my master, I found out that man could be perfect even in this body, wrote Swami Vivekananda. Unquote. Are there disciples in the world who can sacrifice anything or everything for their guru? In this Kali, 99.99% of the disciples go by their own desire, fueled by their own vasanas, and further fueled by the world's impressions about them and what world wants from them. One is impression about myself and the impression about others that they really want me. Paramahamsa Yogananda said, if all the gods are worth, we saw this in the last session also. If note this very carefully, if all the gods are worth, and yet if he's telling to his guru, if you are not satisfied with me, I am. No, it is the other way. He says, if all the gods are not with me, still, if thou art satisfied with me, if you are satisfied with me, I am safe in the fortress of thy pleasure. In your happiness, I am safe. And if all the gods protect me by the parapets of their blessings, and yet I do not receive your benediction, your grace, I am an orphan, left to pine spiritually in the ruins of your displeasure. If you are not happy with me, with my spiritual progress, with my spiritual endeavor, then even if the gods are satisfied with me, still I am an orphan. This is the place these realized masters have given for their guru. What to say? And in the present day world, all this reverence by realized masters towards their guru are available only in the internet for reading and shedding tears. In reality, how many such disciples exist who would sacrifice anything for their master? Who would hold, as Paramahamsa Yogananda says, who will hold Guru even ahead of Devam, because in the line Mata, Pita, Guru, Devam, Devam comes after the Guru. Swami Krishnanandaji Maharaj, much after his realization, went on to write hymns on his master called Shivananda Stuti. There are, I think, 6 verses on this. We will see 3 verses. Second verse. Shivananda Stuti he wrote. Maharaj writes about his master Shivananda. He gives, loves, knows, and meditates. He is the source of wonderful divine activities. He is a Muni. He is an ocean of mercy. He is merged in the joy derived from his own self. He is the Guru of all. This verse says God is the Guru of all. Maharaj says, my Guru is the God, Guru of all. Sometimes he is like a child. Sometimes he is very pleasing. Sometimes he looks like a youth. And other times he looks like a matured, brained person. May that Shivananda, that Swami, possessed of a heart wide like the ocean, live long. Perhaps he wrote this while his master was still alive. Shivanandaji Maharaj breathed last in July 1963. Third verse. He, the great soul, has renounced the sense of duality and has immersed himself in the mass of existence, knowledge, bliss, Satchit Ananda. He floats in that ocean of the supreme non-dual Brahman. He has no thought except of the immortal experience. May that Swami, rejoicing in the supreme bliss, praised by all, triumph. May Shivananda, the Swami, possessed of a heart wide like the ocean, live long. This is an ideal disciple's reverence for his ideal guru. Even after the disciple attains realization and merges with his guru, the God, and exists as non-dual self. After realization, the Guru Tattvam shines forever in the heart of a sadhaka turned seer. As what? As God Himself. God without form and name. Because without that lightening Guru, the darkness within would have never got removed at all. Guru's form may not be there in mind, but the Guru Tattvam in essence of God is essence of God now, and this essence exists as fragrance thereafter. Till the Guru leaves, and even when the physical form of Guru leaves this world. We end this satsang with a couple of verses from Guru Gita. Prostration to that Guru who shows the truth of the word thou, you, that is Tvam, thou, who pervades the whole universe of mobile and immobile creation with its stationary and moving creatures. Prostration to that Guru who shows the truth of the word that is Tat, who pervades the whole universe of mobile and immobile creation in the form of undivided infinite. Prostration to that Guru who shows the truth of the word art in the sentence that thou art, who in the form of the mass of consciousness pervades the whole of the three worlds with their mobile and immobile inhabitants. He wanted to skip these lines of Paramahamsa Yogananda, but he would end with that. He says, as a naughty baby, I had cried for my mother divine, and she came as you, Swami Guru Yukteswar, Swami Sri Yukteswar. And he writes about his Guru and himself and writes, we looked into each other's eyes, where tears were shining. A blissful wave engulfed me. I was conscious that the Lord, in the form of my Guru, was expanding the small orders of my heart into the incompressible reaches of cosmic love. O immortal teacher, I bow to thee as the speaking voice of silent God. Speaking voice of silent God. I bow to thee as the divine door leading for the temple of salvation. My travels ended not in the lofty mountains, but in the Himalayan presence of my master. So the Yoga Sutra verse says, God is the first Guru. God is the Guru of Gurus. But concluding with the line which is repeated here, one needs a Guru to impart them knowledge and wisdom, to remove their ignorance, so that they reach to God. And the God then gives them His hand of grace in that penultimate stage, and the God takes them to where? To themselves, to their own self within, the divinity within. And then neither the Guru is there in form, nor the God is there in form. Hari Om Tat Sat.